Welcome. Welcome to Birth Journey Through the Seasons. I'm Mika Rock, birth doula and hypnobirthing childbirth educator in Montreal, inviting you to join me again today for this walk here in Montreal streets. It's -8, feels like -14. And the interesting thing is that this is considered a very mild winter here. But in this past week, we've been having a little colder nights and days as well. And in this journey, the theme that we're exploring together is somatic awareness. And today, it's time to talk about somatic awareness during labor and birth. And as I was thinking about today's walk, there's so much we can talk about when we talk about labor and birth and somatic experiencing, as labor takes place in the body. And recently in the births that I've supported, some of the birth givers that I've worked with have shared with me these moments where they can feel their babies descend, where they can soften into their pelvic floor with their breath, and how amazing that connection is to support you in labor, to support you feeling connected to your body and into your innate wisdom and power. So this is one place that somatic awareness and practicing it during pregnancy can support you during labor, having a deeper and clearer connection with your body as you move through labor. But there's another very common way that I want to address today that our body reacts during labor that is less, I find, addressed or understood. And I know that in many childbirth education classes and many doulas do cover this, but sometimes when I'm at the hospital as a doula, I find that even our medical care providers don't even know how to refer to this occurrence. And what I'm talking about is labor shakes, or shaking during labor. This can show up during labor or after labor. And sometimes it can be intensified as a side effect to an epidural or to medication. But even in unmedicated births, shaking can often occur and be experienced. So, what does that have to do with somatic awareness? Our nervous system is reacting. During labor and birth, our bodies go through a huge change, a huge shift. Think about it. Our uterus is pulsating and working to birth our baby and to help our baby find the path with the least resistance to come out. Our body is fully absorbed in labor to allow all that energy to really be catalyzed and centered where it needs to go in this teamwork between our bodies and our babies to birth this new human. And our nervous system is going through a lot of change, and a lot of information is being constantly registered. And shaking is a very normal and natural way for our nervous system to discharge, for our nervous system to allow our bodies to integrate whatever we are going through. And often when we can go through event that creates these huge shifts in our nervous system, there will be a reaction. So normalizing shaking in labor, and let the shakes come if they need to. And also know that there's 2 ways that that I've tried and seen success with. I'm sure there are more, but these are 2 that I recommend during labor if the shakes show up and we do want to help the body settle. One is using warm blankets, and I can definitely use one in this moment right now walking here. But I've seen over and over again how a warm blanket can calm the shakes. And the other one is actually if the shakes show up after the birth, and that can often happen. And that is actually to have your baby, oh, somebody's shaking their car and just drove by. So there's some shaking happening here. But if shaking shows up after labor and your baby is with you skin to skin, bring your baby, place them on you without any clothes on, maybe just a diaper. You yourself be bare skin, and put a nice blanket, warm blanket over, or even just a blanket. Your body will be warming you and your baby. And that can often, just like, it's even like magic, but it's oxytocin and more, that can help us calm down the shakes. So knowing that it's normal, knowing that there's things that you can do to help yourself go through that integration. And if we resist the shakes, they usually become worse. So it's another place in labor where we get to practice releasing and letting go and relaxing into the shakes, knowing that our nervous system is doing what it needs to do, and for ourselves to integrate all of what we've just been through. So here's to positive labors with understanding how our bodies naturally, innately react. Sending you lots of love to wherever you are in the world. And Alicia, I see you here. Hi from Montreal. So great that I can bring you along on this walk. We've got so much snow here. It's kind of crazy. Until next week, when I will be talking about somatic awareness in the early days, just after your baby's born, so early postpartum, and how we can benefit from this angle of looking at our experience. Until then, all the best.